Now, this is being seen as once again a big concern as far as the air safety is concerned. Airplane manufacturer Boeing urges operators to carry out fresh inspections of Boeing 737 MAX airplanes. This comes as the United States aviation regulator Federal Aviation Administration said a nut with missing bolt was found and that a missing bolt was discovered in rudder control system. The FAA urged flight operators to inspect specific tie rods that control rudder movement for possible loose hardware. Now, at least 3 Indian airlines operate B737 MAX airplanes. The DGCA has also now stepped in and it has said that the situation is being monitored while airline operators say safety is paramount and checks are being conducted on these airplanes. So how serious is this threat? Because this is, remember, not the first time when 737 MAX aircraft has come under scrutiny. And let's try and understand with our guests, those who are joining us this evening. Captain S.S. Panesa, former Director of Flight Safety for Indian Airlines, aviation and flight safety expert, is joining us. We also have Parvez Damania, former Director, Kingfisher Airlines, founder, Damania Airways. Gentlemen, thank you for speaking to us. I want to, first of all, understand from you, Captain Panesa, how serious is this threat? Is it serious enough, like the last time when there were questions around the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft, when many of those airlines had to ground the aircrafts that they were operating?
Yes, I agree with you. Let me remind you, there were 2 very serious fatal incidents took place on this aircraft where a lot of people lost their lives. After that, the Boeing company became very alert. They called all their scientists and all that. They tried to find out the major fault which was lying with the stabilizer of the elevator of the aircraft. Now, the Boeing company is very alert. They are monitoring the flying operation, engineering operation of Boeing MAX 737 all over the world. And it is good if they found some fault in the rudder bolts which are loose, and they're given instruction to all the airlines operating with this aircraft to be careful and monitor all these things. The unfortunate part is our DGCA, the regulatory body, are incompetent people. They have no experts. They do not know what all to do. They only watch what the FAA or the Boeing tells them, or the World Airlines do anything. Even they were hesitant to ground Boeing 737 MAX when 2 fatal incidents took place. Till the president of USA also warned the Boeing to ground all these aircraft. Now, you see, the funny part of our regulatory body, they have no competent persons to monitor all these things. I won't be hesitant to tell you, they have appointed one lady officer. She's a chartered accountant as a Director General of Aircraft Accident Investigation Board. She doesn't know head and tail of an aircraft. What do you expect the safety standards from such a lady? Then, you see, there's a lot of millibugger between the nexus between the airline and the DGCA. They don't very seriously investigate the incident and accidents. And it's a matter of great regret that today they have no experts, no professionals, and they do not want to involve professionals also in the investigation.
Let me bring in Mr. Damania at this moment as well. Mr. Damania, without in fact getting into some sort of fear-mongering where passengers feel unsafe before they board the aircraft, what do you think that the airlines, on their part, what do they need to do at this moment to ensure that safety of the passengers is foremost and paramount?
First and foremost, I don't think the passengers need to worry about anything. The DGCA is in touch with the American FAA body, and they're monitoring the situation. One airline and one aircraft found this bolt in the radar issue. And nobody has named the airline yet, but the Boeing has sent a circular that these checks should be carried out by the airlines that are operating this aircraft. The airlines that are operating this aircraft are Akasa, Air India Express, and SpiceJet. All are coordinating with DGCA, and they've confirmed that they are doing these checks. Captain Panesa is right in certain areas, but this whole check is supposed to take about 2 hours per aircraft. I'm sure the airlines have gone through the check. And also before the aircraft leaves the gate, the pilots themselves do the rudder checks. So I don't think it's a reason to be greatly worried of. Yes, our captain was right when he talked about those incidents. Those incidents were very, very serious. A lot of people lost their lives. And the aircraft was grounded for 20 months till everybody was satisfied that it was safe to fly. So that issue was very serious. The government in India and all over the world took the right actions.
Right.
But in this present situation, there is nothing to worry.
Okay.
Right now, there are 1,370 of these aircraft flying. So I think everybody is doing the jobs. We don't need to really worry, and the passengers can safely and comfortably fly these airlines.
Captain Panesar, may I, just for the sake of our viewers, those who are watching at this moment, in very simple terms, what does this mean? That, a bolt could be loose. Is it a manufacturing defect, or is it something which possibly was a freak sort of an incident that they noticed, and now they are being overcautious and advising all the other airlines which are operating this plane to in fact go ahead and make sure that this is not an entire aircraft line sort of a problem?
Let me tell you, the rudder is a very, very important part of the fuselage which controls the direction of the aircraft. You see, if you see the fish in a pond, she keeps on waving her tail to keep her straight. But if you cut the tail of the fish, she will not be able to go straight. Similarly, in the rudder, to maintain the direction and control the turns, the rudder is a very, very important function. I'll quote you one incident. One DC-10 took off from Chicago about 20 years ago, and one of its engine fell off. They took a movie and they found out this engine was hanging on 2 nuts. They immediately grounded all the DC-10 all over the world till they found out all nuts are safe, and they asked them to change the nuts. Only the engine was hanging only on 2 nuts. No, if this bolt is getting loose, it's a very timely decision by the Boeing company to warn all the airlines to check the bolt of the rudder before any serious things happen. But unfortunately, the DGCA and the airlines, they have a nexus, Billy Bugger, they don't take a timely action. They wait for something serious to happen. Then only they rise to the occasion.
Okay.
Even present DG, they have no technical knowledge of aviation.
Okay.
How do you expect the safety of aviation in the hands of these babus?
Okay.
I'm
Mr.
sorry to say that.
Damania, this aircraft, this is the second time we are hearing about this advisory. Like you also mentioned and elaborated how serious it was the first time round, 2 fatal incidents, and then it was grounded for 20 months. Should this be taken as a warning bell for the airlines to possibly in future not buy this aircraft or phase it out from their fleet? Is it even feasible?
No, it's not feasible to phase out this aircraft. An induction of an aircraft is a very complicated process. The entire training process, entire equipment, engines, spare parts, everything is done on that specific aircraft. The training process. And one need not worry. 1,370 is a very large fleet that is flying. And this is only, the problem is with only the 737 MAX. The 737 Neo, there is no problem at all. This is one of the largest selling single-aisle aircrafts in the world, other than the Airbus 320 series. So and Boeing knows what they're doing. I don't think we really need to panic at this situation. And I am sure, Captain Panesar may not agree, but I'm sure the DGCA is doing his job. And why would not airlines maintain their safety standards? Their entire business, God forbid, an untold incident happens, the airlines would get into massive trouble and lose the entire business. So I'm sure the airlines also maintaining very high standards and doing whatever they can to see that no untold incident occurs. Why would they? This is not something like grounding the fleet or changing the engines. If a bolt in the rudder has to be checked, I'm sure the airlines have done it. Why should they not do it?
So there is no cause of alarm at this moment, just an attempt to be cautious and ensure that, there is, it doesn't lead to anything serious. Captain Panesar, I'm completely out of time, sir. 10 seconds to you. Please conclude in that.
Say again.
Sir, I'm completely out of time. 10 seconds for you to conclude, sir. Go ahead.
I just want to say it's high time the regulatory body and the Ministry of Aviation rise to occasion with professionals and veterans
Okay.
to find out the safety standards. Even
Right.
a few months back, I saw the news item Boeing 777. These aircraft are dangerously flying over the hills with hardly any oxygen available with them in case of emergency. I do not know what DGC has done about it.
Okay.
They are just quiet. They are millibugged between the airline.
Right.
They don't
So
take
you've made
action.
that very, very clear and emphatically in your argument, but I'll have to leave it there, gentlemen. Thank you so much. A very happy New Year to both of you, and we are hoping that the safety standards in Indian skies are up to the highest, in fact, levels, so that the passengers don't have to worry about anything. We'll keep a very close eye on the developments on this story.